So, Kari, have I ever told you that I sing in Adam's band, the Ginger Tops, twice a month?
No.
And also, he was voted in Germany the sexiest TV star, second only to David Hasselhoff.
No.
Have I told you that I was a small Wookiee in Star Wars Episode 3?
No, you didn't, because I would have seen you because I was a small Wookiee.
Now you get it. We're lying. You know why?
No.
Because the fans have asked us to test out mythical ways to beat the polygraph machine.
Once we're done with that, we're gonna go up against the latest in lie detecting technology, the fMRI.
Awesome, I haven't been this excited since my last cage match.
Yeah, I want a rematch.
I won't lie to you. The polygraph has been shrouded in controversy. Some say it's infallible, but the MythBuster fan sites are awash with claims it can be beat first time, every time.
Okay, mythical ways to beat the polygraph. How are we gonna do this?
Well, it sounds like there's two different ways to beat the polygraph machine, and that's physical and mental. Now, the physical, you apply pain while you're telling the truth, whether you're biting on your tongue or stepping on a tack. So that way, when you're telling the lie, it seems like you're relaxed, and they think you're telling the truth.
And the mental way is to think of very stressful thoughts while you are telling the truth, and when you tell a lie, you think of very happy thoughts.
Well, we've used a polygraph before, but we are not remotely qualified to do it for something this serious. I think we need to find an expert, somebody who works with the police or the FBI or something.
Well, while the researchers are looking for the experts, we need to come up with a way to test this as realistically as possible.
Well, we have a few friends in law enforcement. Let's go down to the South San Francisco PD and ask them for a few tips.
So, first up, it's off to the cop shop. Because if they're going to test techniques to beat the lie detector, they want to know the optimum conditions for a real polygraph test. Cue the South San Francisco PD's Lieutenant Roy Varney.
So, we are working on mythical ways to beat the lie detector, and we need to set up a realistic scenario so we get the best possible results.
Well, if you guys want to sit down for a second, I'll go over some of this stuff.
Lieutenant Varney's recipe for polygraph success has 4 key ingredients. 2 long hours in a sterile, distraction-free location cover the first 2.
The third issue is of bias. We really don't want the examiner to meet our subject before the test.
So far, so good. But it's the final factor that's the most critical of all.
It needs to be a big lie. There needs to be a reward versus punishment aspect to it. If you wanted an accurate test of this, you would need to commit a crime.
It slowly dawns on the guys. If they want to test this myth properly, they'll have to actually commit a crime. And that's because a lie detector works by measuring the physiological changes to the human body associated with stress, including heart rate, blood pressure, and sweat. So committing a crime with consequences stressful enough to sweat over is the only way to really put the polygraph through its paces. And as far as Lieutenant Varney's concerned, under these conditions, there'll be only one result.
Can't beat a lie detector test.
Now there's a challenge. Back at the shop, the team begin by building the interrogation chamber. But remember, if you can't do the time, don't do the mime. Despite the clowning around, following Lieutenant Varney's advice, they've soon got the perfect location for their lie detector tests, including the obligatory 2-way mirror.
You ever get the feeling people are watching us work?
All the time.
Last time the MythBusters played with a polygraph,
All right, Grant, I got our guinea pig.
they attempted to get in touch with a plant's feelings.
Ooh, this is weird stuff, man.
But this time the team is tackling mythical techniques to beat the rap by perplexing the polygraph. But before the interrogation comes the crime. And Adam, our criminal mastermind, has all the details.
In these 3 envelopes, I have a crime which 2 of you will commit and 1 will not.
After handing over the sealed envelopes, Adam leaves the team to individually open their instructions. Burglar Balici is first.
All right, so here are the directions. Do not disclose this information in this message to anyone until told to do so.
And after opening his letter, he returns to M5 on a quiet weekend morning.
Enter Jamie's office. Next to the computer on the top shelf of a tall white bookshelf, you will find a tan cash box. Inside the box, you will find a wallet. Open the wallet and remove $50.
Grant is next, and his task is identical to Tory's. And with the cash safely stashed, he slips away to spend his ill-gotten gains. Last up, Kari.
You are the innocent party. Do not search the room. Do not disturb anything. I get to tell the truth. I get to be the innocent party.
So Kari is the all-important control. She didn't steal any cash, and during the interrogation will answer all questions truthfully. Which means it's time to meet the man with the machine. Dr. Michael Martin has been a polygraphist for over 15 years and has conducted over 8,000 lie detection tests.
There's a lot of people out there that think that polygraphs are total bunk. How would you respond to that?
Well, first of all, let's look at the research. The federal government has done quite a few studies, and each study, the test results fall anywhere from about 80% to about 99% in accuracy.
Before the guys test the reality of those impressive numbers, Ringmaster Adam has one more trick up his sleeve.
In order to actually get some real physiological autonomic responses, we're going to raise the stakes for you. And so, if you are able to conceal whether or not you did this crime from our polygraphist, the next time you fly for MythBusters, you'll be flying first class. Yes! However, if you fail to conceal whether or not you did this crime from the polygraphist, you will be washing, waxing, and polishing every single crew member's car on MythBusters.
Oh, this sucks. This went from fun to not fun.
Yeah.
With the threat of some real work hanging over their heads, the pressure is on. Burglar Belleci will be the first to face the music. But how exactly will he attempt to outwit the polygraph?
My secret weapon. I'm gonna stick the tack in my pocket like this, point it at my leg, and whenever I'm telling the truth, I'm just gonna press down on my leg. It should hurt.
So Tory is trying to invalidate the test as a whole by blurring the line between fact and fiction. Remember, the polygraph works by measuring the stress of lying. So the theory is, by stressing your body with pain on the truthful answers and relaxing on the lies, the machine can't tell the difference. To begin the test, Dr. Martin asks a bunch of simple calibration questions.
Is your first name Salvatore?
Yes.
Remember, every time he answers truthfully, he presses in the tack.
Calculate 6 times 11 minus 15.
Maths and pain have always been partners for Tory.
54.
Do you intend to answer my questions truthfully?
Yes.
Recently featured in the movie Ocean's 13, this technique of self-harm is a popular myth.
Did you steal that cash discovered missing from Jamie's office today?
No.
But the sensors on the seat and floor catch even the slightest suspicious movement.
Okay, that's a movement. Please keep your eyes straight ahead.
I tried going for the tack, and he called me out, so I had to go straight to biting my tongue.
So it's Plan B. Tory's new painful countermeasure is tongue biting.
During your entire life, did you ever steal money stolen from a cash box on a white envelope? Did you steal that cash?
No.
After a further 80 minutes of intense scrutiny and deliberately confusing questions,
That's it. It's nice to meet you.
Yeah, it was nice meeting you.
Tory and his tongue finish the interrogation close to breaking point.
I got the 3rd degree. Felt like the screws were being tightened down on me.
Grant's next, and for his technique, rather than getting physical, he's going mental.
My happy/erotic thoughts are puppies licking my face and scantily clad women.
Okay. So Grant will use the power of his not inconsiderable mind. By thinking stressful thoughts of getting caught when being honest and happy thoughts when lying, the test results are supposedly rendered inconclusive.
Regarding that cash reported missing from money stolen from a cash box, your entire life, did you ever break the question? Was it you who stole that cash?
No.
After 90 minutes, the strain must be taking its toll.
Yes.
Grant's technique requires absolute focus and concentration.
No.
But the intensity and length of the interview are designed to counter Grant's countermeasure.
Okay. That's gonna do it.
Last up is innocent little Kari.
I don't like people throwing unexpected questions at me like that. I've seen Montel. I know how they take people off guard.
Is your first name Kari?
Remember, she's the control and didn't steal any cash. But despite her innocence, the stressful environment and questioning takes its toll.
Was that money stolen from a white envelope in Jamie's chair? The cash reported missing from Jamie's office. You are afraid I will ask.
I was waiting for that moment where I was going to break down. No. The hardest part is just holding still. I thought I was going to have one flinch, and I was going to screw the whole thing up.
Yes.
The question is, will her nerves confuse the polygraph and lead to a false accusation?
That's the worst.
And to find out exactly who will be charged with the crime and who won't, Dr. Martin gathers the suspects for the results.
Well, first of all, the good news is that no one's test was inconclusive. We have conclusive results on everyone.
Really?
Absolutely.
Great.
Our fun-loving criminals have been testing mythical ways to beat the polygraph, and the results are in.
The good news is that no one's test was inconclusive.
Remember, Grant and Tory are guilty and tried to invalidate the test with two different countermeasures.
Felt like the screws were being tightened down on me.
But Kari was innocent. So did Dr. Martin Pickett.
Kari, you were found not to be involved in the theft. Your test was truthful and honest. Unfortunately, the men's test didn't go as well. They both failed clearly on all issues.
I knew it. I knew I failed.
The numbers don't lie. Both our crims scored a probability of guilt greater than 99%. Dr. Martin had no problem spotting Tory's attempt to mask his responses with pain. As for Grant,
in your particular case, it was your skin glands were the most telling. You just couldn't suppress it. There's no way you could do that.
You didn't have a chance.
I'm not cut out for crime, what can I say?
quite simply, the boys didn't have a chance. Modern polygraphs, when used by experienced polygraphers, are very effective. The trick questions.
During your entire life, did you ever break the law?
The intimidating atmosphere and myriad of sensors mean they are very, very difficult to beat.
Yes.
Which means it's time for the boys to make like an 80s disco diva and hit the car wash.
I didn't bring my bikini. Did you bring yours? It's ridiculous. It's totally ridiculous, and the producers know it.
So much for beating the polygraph machine. We both failed.
At least all the cars are clean.
That's funny. You know what, though? There is one other system of lie detecting that I think we need to test. They actually use brain mapping to tell whether or not you're lying. And they say it's 90% accurate.
Yeah, actually, I've heard of that. They use an fMRI, and they can actually see the part of your brain that's used for lying.
So this is less about myth busting and more about the science of lying.
And to uncover the science of lying, they have to do some flying. The Medical University of South Carolina is at the cutting edge of this new lie detection technology.
Does anybody know where the hell we're going?
Whereas Grant and Tory are at the cutting edge of getting lost.
We are looking for the Medical University of South Carolina.
Finally, inside, Kari gets to meet expert Dr. Frank Kozel.
So the fMRI is new technology for a lie detector.
Correct, Harry. We've been working on this for a while, and we're looking at using functional MRI to measure in the brain when people are lying.
So how's it work?
We think that when people are lying, their brains are working harder, and so we can measure the differences in blood flow and tell when people are lying versus telling the truth.
So the theory is that when you lie, your brain works harder, and it's this increase in blood flow that's detected in the fMRI. And to test the theory, the guys will once again commit a crime.
According to Adam, In order for this test to have the proper motivation that it needs, there's going to be a reward and a punishment. If you're able to successfully beat the test, you get the reward of $1,000.
Are you kidding me?
What?
That's pretty good.
However, if you're not able to successfully beat the test, you get to take a bus back to San Francisco.
Oh! That sucks.
A bus.
That sucks!
Have you ever ridden the bus? Long distances?
Are you serious? This is not funny anymore.
In the course of MythBusters, Tory has been dragged along the ground by a horse and face planted on a bike. But could this be the myth that breaks Tory's back?
I don't want to take this test. Can I opt to not take the test?
At the Medical University of South Carolina, MRI technology is being studied as a potential replacement for the polygraph. And Kari, Grant, and Tory are about to put this new generation of lie detector through its paces. But first, they have to steal one item from this drawer.
So the idea here is that I need to either steal the watch or the ring from this drawer. Then I need to take whichever object I choose, put it in my locker with all of my belongings. Then I'll go into fMRI and they're going to ask me a series of questions about which item I took and some baseline truth and lie questions. I'm going to steal the ring.
With the ring stashed safely among Kari's belongings, she heads for the MRI, where she's prepped for her futuristic interview.
This is intense.
Unlike the polygraph, this test takes the human out of the equation. The questions appear on a screen, and Kari answers with the press of a button.
Just try to keep your head as still as possible, okay?
Kari's attempt to beat this lie detector involves thinking happy, relaxing thoughts when lying, and scary thoughts on the truth. But can you fool a machine looking directly at your brain? Next up is Tory, and he's also taking the ring.
Hey, DVD. Want to keep that.
And he's also taking the ring.
So I'm gonna go with the ring.
After safely stowing his booty in his locker, he's ready for the MythBusters Magnetron.
I'm all clear metal. This is not gonna rip my feelings out, is it?
No.
Tory's attempt to beat the mind machine involves the same mind game as Kari. And after answering the question, he escapes with his fillings intact. Last but not least is Grant.
Okay, so I've chosen to take the watch, and I don't know why. It was just shiny and, looked like something fun to take.
With Grant's shiny secret under wraps, he too heads into the Donut of Doom.
Now, my technique for beating the fMRI is to put my brain in a state of constant activity. And I'm actually going to psychologically create for myself a feeling of fear, hoping to stimulate the blood flow all around my brain so that they won't know when I'm lying or when I'm telling the truth.
So the sci-fi cross-examinations are complete, and the technicians begin to sift through the scans. Remember, if our thieves are successful in confusing the test, they get $1,000 and avoid a long bus ride home.
My hands are actually sweating.
From our analysis, we found that all three of you took the ring.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
As you can tell by the reactions, Grant beat the MRI. Kari and Tory didn't.
Well, looks like we get to take that cross-country trip we've been talking about for so long. Oh well, what are you gonna do?
Grant's smug, Kari's cursing, and refusing to even talk to the producer.
I'm not speaking to you.
I can't believe Grant beat that freaking test, though. That's unbelievable.
I'm not speaking to Adam. I might forgive you, but not for the next 2 days.
Look at that smug face. He's just so happy with himself right now. I think that makes me more sick than the bus ride home.
Well, like it or not, Grant's mind really did triumph over matter.
This whole time, I've been psychologically preparing myself to ride the bus across the country. So I really hadn't actually truly believed that I was going to get $1,000.
So it seems that crime does pay. Grant gets his $1,000, while the others get a ride to the bus station.
Okay, guys, here's your tickets. I've got my...
Holy crap! 3,077 miles. Myths about lie detectors. Where do we stand?
Well, as far as the polygraph goes, the physical and mental techniques the two of you guys utilized failed pretty miserably. But just because you guys didn't do it doesn't mean somebody else can't. So we're gonna have to call this one plausible.
How was that bus ride, by the way?
Shut up.